inches. So, or 1,215 sixteenths inches. Let's say inches squared. That's a really difficult one, but it is, it's true. Or the other thing that I could do is I could divide 1,215 by 16 and come up with a decimal. But that's not what we're working with. We're working with fractions. So these are several examples of what the next thing we're going to do with our information. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what you guys need to do in your work. Okay, so now what I want you guys to look at is, like, remember this one where I didn't have a grid or anything, I didn't have the square units. I just knew that this was the length and this was the width. I didn't have to do any work there. I just multiplied the dimensions and I got my area. What if we did it just like that, but with our mixed numbers, our fractions? So let's get another one here. I'm going to do this. Say it's a good rectangle. 7 1/4 inches and 9 2/4 inches. Okay, so it goes right back to the other one. That was sort of difficult. We're going to do area equals length times width. So our length, we got a question mark on our area because we do not know what our area is yet. Our length, we do know, is 9 2/4. And then our width is 7 1/4. So now I'm going to multiply these. But because it's a little bit difficult to do it this way, I've got to make sure that I can do it one of two ways. One way, we put them into improper fractions like we did previously. The other way is we can actually split it up. Meaning, we can do an area model to help us. So, we've got 9 2/4 inches. So, if I were to measure this out, it'd be 9 inches, and then there's 2/4 inches. Another way to say 2/4 is 1/2. So 1/2 inch here. And then over here, I would then rewrite this entirely. So this is 2/4 inches, and this part's 9 inches, right? And then for this part, we've got 7 inches and then 1/4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and write 1/4 right there. So instead, it'll be 7 inches and then 1/4 inches. With our 1/4, well, with each of our dimensions now, we're just going to cross. So we're going to do, here, I'm going to erase this part so you guys can see it a little bit clearer. There you go. Alright, so if we've got this guy, we're going to do 7 times 9. We're going to do our area for this box right here. So 7 times 9 is going to give us a nice 63 inches squared. Now we do 7 times 2/4. 7 times 2/4 is going to give us, we're doing 7 times 2/4. We only, if it's a whole number, we only affect the numerator. So it's 7 times 2, and that's 14 over 4. 14 over 4, we can see that it is, they both have a 2 in there. They have a common factor of 2. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. So now I've got the answer of 7, 2. So that's 7 inches squared for that little guy. Now our next part is going to be over here. It's going to be 1/4 times 9, and 1/4 times 9. The 9 only affects the numerator, meaning it's 9/4. So we put 9/4 inches squared. Now the last part is 1/4 times 2/4. So 1/4 times 2/4. That one we just cross. 1 times 2 equals 2. 4 times 4 equals 16. Now we know that 2 is divisible by, 16 is divisible by 2, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. So that equals 1/8, so that's 1/8 inches squared. Now I've done the hard work. I just have to add them all up. Luckily, they're all able to add up. We've got, now, I'm going to erase this part. Okay, so I've got 63, got plus 7/2 plus 9/4 plus 1/8. Okay, we got a little work to do. We've got to figure out, so we got 63, 7/2, 9/4, and 1/8. We've got to have a common denominator on the three fractions to be able to add them up. So my common denominator is going to be 8. Okay, so I've got 63 plus, now I've got 7 times 4/4, right? Because 4/4 is just, it equals 1, so I'm just finding an equivalent fraction so that the 8 would be my common denominator, because I was doing how many times is 2. If 2's are a factor to 8, what times 2 gets us to 8? And I know that's 4, so that's 7/2 times 4/4, and that's going to be that'll be 8 28/8, and then plus 63 because I had it on the other one. So 28/8. Okay, fine. We got 28/8. Now we've got to do 9/4 times what gets 4 times what gets us to 8. You're right. It's 2/2. Well, it's 2, but we're gonna multiply it top and bottom by the same number so that it equals 1. Because 2/2 or 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So now, I'm going to put 2 down. Now we're at 9/4 times 2/2, which gets us to 9 times 2 is 18. 4 times 2 is 8. Beautiful. And then the last one, we're going to, oh, we already got it. So now I've got to take this guy and this guy and this guy and add it with that one. So we've got 63 plus 28/8 plus 18/8 plus 1/8. So now I gotta add all the numerators up. 28 plus 18. I can put a 1 there. Okay, so 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 2 is 4. 47. So this equals 63 and 47/8. I can reduce that. So 8 goes into 47 5 times. So 63 plus 5, then it has 7 left over. So it's 63 plus 5, it's 7s, and that's going to be 68 and 7/8 inches squared. A lot of work, but we can get there. this is the example. I know I just went over a lot of different things and I said a lot of different words. Used a lot of different numbers, and that was just one problem. So it is a lot of work, but we can get there. You guys got this. Okay, so the problems in your math book for lesson 10 in module 5, you're going to do problem 6 and problem 7. So with those, let's go ahead and try them out. We've got the grid that is made up of 2 1/4 inches. Well, each square unit is 2 1/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. So, which is actually very similar to this one. And there are 4 across. So if we just fold this guy. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So now this one matches your entire problem on number 6. So it is 1, 2, 3 square units by 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 square units by 1, 2, 3 square units. And we know it tells us that this is 2 1/4 inches and this one's 2 1/4 inches. We can see by the grid that each square unit, if we count them, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 for our length, so there's 4 square units on this one, and then for our width, it is 3 square units. Now, with this information, we need to multiply 3 by 2 1/4 to figure out our width. So our width equals 3 times 2 1/4. And what we do is we're going to take our 3, we're going to multiply it by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. Now we do 3 times 1/4, and that is 3/4. So that would be 6 3/4 inches for our width. Now we gotta do the same thing for our length. So we gotta do 4. So length equals 4 times 2 1/4 inches. So with that, we're going to multiply 4 times 2, and that's 8. And then 4 times 1/4, which is 4/4. We know 4 divided by 4, or 4/4, is equal to 1. So that's 8 plus 1 is 9 inches for our length. So now we've got our total length and width. Our length equals 9 inches, and our width equals 6 3/4. To find our area of this rectangle, it would be A equals L times W, or area equals length times width. So now we just plug it in. A, or question mark, equals 9 times 6 3/4. So now we've got to multiply these. 9 times 6 is 54. And then 9 times 3/4 is 27/4. We can reduce this because 27/4 is an improper fraction. So 4 goes into 27. 4 goes into 27 how many times? That would be 6 times, because 24, so 54 plus 6, and there's going to be 3 left over, 3/4, So we've got